let's talk about the forgotten supercar, the Acura NSX, the 2022 version. Now, I feel like it's a forgotten supercar because you don't really hear a lot about it. And honestly, yeah, it's a supercar in every sense of the way, but it's not really what everyone's talking about. And I don't know why that is. Now, I have a guess, but well, I'll have to see about that. Now, what is the Acura NSX Type S? Basically, it's a supercar with a V6 engine, and 3 electric motors, 1 to the engine and 2 to the front wheels, and combined they put out 600 horsepower. Now, that's some serious numbers. That's proper supercar numbers. So on the engine front, obviously it's a supercar. And then let's talk about the design. Now, I personally feel that designs decide a lot about whether a supercar becomes popular or not, because you want the car to look wow, to be out there and for everyone to look at it. And the Acura NSX has the look. It looks like a proper supercar. It has the shape, it has the design, it has all the aero parts and the sharp angles and all that. So on design front, yeah, it's a proper supercar. And then there's handling, and on that front as well, it does really well. It's really good around corners. It's really fast. It's a great handling car, and a surprisingly good car to drive on rougher roads. So yeah, on all these fronts, it's a fantastic car. It's a proper supercar, but it's kind of forgotten. I mean, we don't really talk that much about it, and honestly, I think the main reason for that is one, the price. Now, apparently the price of this car is $180 something thousand US, and that's a lot of money. And when you're spending that much money, you're basically comparing these to a lot of big brands like Porsche and all that. And that's gonna be difficult to compete with them because, well, Acura's another version of Honda. It's kind of like Toyota's Lexus brand. It's another version of Honda, and everyone knows it. And when you're paying that much for a Honda, even if it's a supercar, it's a hard sell. Now, I know that Lexus pulled it off the LFA, but that car nailed everything. It was fantastic, it sounded great, and it was incredible. It was a different experience, so it was loved. But the Acura NSX, even though it has all the figures and the performance and all that, it's not that special and not that out there in a way that you have to think about it, because everyone who loves supercars thinks about Lexus LFA, but you don't get the same emotional reaction from the Acura NSX. That's the problem. It doesn't have that extra wow factor that more commercial brand like Lexus needs. A brand that makes SUVs and other cars and all that needs. And yeah, that's a big issue with the car. But honestly, it kind of sucks because the car was great, and I think what they should have done is they should have did what Corvette did, and price it similar to that, and it would have been an awesome car. Everyone would have talked about it. It would have been a little supercar killer, and that's disappointing because they kind of missed out. I mean, come on, the price is really too high. I think it should be priced around 100,000, and I think that would have been a decent price. But 180, it's too much. You're competing with too many bigger brands at that point, and that's a big issue for Acura. Now, considering this, what's going to be the future of the NSX? Is it going to come out again? I don't know if there are any future versions coming out. maybe an electric or something. But even if they do come out, it's still facing the same issue. If it's overpriced, it's not gonna be talked about, or anyone's gonna think about it, because the brand needs to be more price sensitive, or it has to be just so out there and so incredible like Lexus that everyone just has to talk about it. But I think the better option would be going on the Corvette route and pricing it reasonably without cutting anything, and we could have ourselves a handful of supercar killers in the future. You know, for smaller manufacturers, for more commercial manufacturers creating supercars and competing with the bigger brands and forcing the bigger brands to really up their game, which is better for everyone who's buying cars. Because not everyone's gonna care about brand as much as the price tag. I mean, a lot of people will be more than happy to just spend $100,000 on a Corvette or an Acura if they can get almost the same performance of the big brands. So yeah, that's why I think the Acura NSX is a forgotten supercar, and it sucks.